The Kentucky Wildcats play their final exhibition game of the year before the regular season and blow out the Division II national champs from last season. It was bananas. That is going to be the conversation on today's episode of the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer and editor over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI. Joined as always, well, not as always, for the first time ever on the show, we have Cash Daniel, Carson Nash on the pod. How are we feeling, Cash?
I'm feeling good. I didn't have much to go with up here in Louisville, so I went with something simple and easy. I'm Cash Daniel, one of my all-time favorite Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, no question, the absolute GOAT. So Garrison, Kentucky wins this game. It was 98-67, right? Was that the final score? Yes, 98-67. Yeah. What stood out to me most about this game, Carson, and we're going to get into the details. We'll get into who played well. We'll get into all that. But there's one thing that really got me fired up about this game, and it was very simple. In the first 6, 7, 8 minutes of the game, maybe up to 10, Kentucky, they were putting hands in passing lanes. There wasn't much we were doing on offense. We couldn't get much going. The threes weren't falling, but we were able to continually maintain a 2-4 point lead until we were able to explode for, an 18-0 run. And what I loved about that was the defense kept us in the game. They were getting hands in faces for three-pointers. They were playing great defense around the rim. Last year, there were similarities to this team and last year's team when it comes to the scoring and the ability to shoot the ball and all that. Where there's a difference is last year's team, if they weren't scoring, they are getting in a deficit because they couldn't play any defense. This year's team will be able to hang around until the offensive explosion happens. And that's what we saw in the first 10 minutes of that game. And that, in all honesty, was my main takeaway that got me fired up for the rest of the season.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I can barely take you seriously talking.
I can tell. I was trying to be serious. I kept looking over at you.
No, it's because every time you move, it's like the whole suit moves with you.
This was the Godfather Mike's Halloween costume, and then I put this on as a joke before we recorded, and so I guess we're rolling with it. And then
it's awesome.
To be Cash Daniel, so.
No, yeah, the Cats looked really good. I thought what you were saying is 100% correct. What I love the most is I loved how we went into that rut at the beginning. Honestly, I liked seeing that because it showed how Mark Pope is willing to make changes, and that leading to our success. So that was really positive for me because it's hard to take away a bunch in exhibition games because they're just they're exhibition games. But being able to see the changes that Pope made when we got in that rut and seeing us get out of it really makes me feel good about the staff and where we're at right now.
Yeah. To me, how many times have we seen, okay, I'm gonna give you some different examples here. Even these last few years, Kentucky's up 6 points at the half against some random school, or Kentucky's down. I mean, there was a game a few years ago we were down to a team like this. There's ways.
I'm willing to bet that Evansville wasn't as good as this team.
Yeah.
Who did we lose to last year? They weren't as good as this team that we played.
I thought it said Florida Gulf Coast. Why am I forgetting?
It was like North Florida. It felt like
it was North Carolina something.
Yeah,
why am I blanking on this?
Wilmington, UNC Wilmington. There we go. All right. No, but neither of those teams were. I don't think we're as good as the team we played on Tuesday.
Pumpkin. But to me, the way that you look at this, the way I look at this game is very simple. When I look at the way they played, there's gonna be the Arkansas and the Louisville and the Tennessee fans going, well, you beat Minnesota State Mankato or you beat Kentucky Wesleyan. Okay, yeah. Once again, that was the schedule. We beat them by 71, and then whatever 98 minus 67 is. You're better at math than me. Is that 31?
31.
31 point. Point is, you get your schedule and you dominate. It's very simple. That is what you're supposed to do. That is what Kentucky did. They looked great. besides that first 5 minutes. And honestly, the score should have been more than it was.
Oh, well, with like 10
won
minutes
that
left,
game.
we went to Travis Perry, Trent Noah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you keep Robinson and Lamont in there the whole time, it's probably more like a 40 to 50 point win.
Yeah. And, you know, that's what I loved about this is it was just you dominated. You dominated this game except for I'd say 5 minutes and then you looked great. But the point is we see this all the time, whether it was Kentucky in the past or you'll open up Twitter and you'll see, oh, Georgia loses to random Division III school. Like this stuff happens. There was no need for a Georgia. There wasn't really a Georgia story. I just named the school. Anybody. But we see it all the time. Good teams or solid teams losing to random NAI. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. It's really hard to beat. It's hard to get hyped up for that game. You know what I mean? It just is. And that's not, and Coach Pope, I think, did a great job of, and I'm not saying for this Kentucky team, but it is in general. I mean, if you're playing, it'd be like when I was at Waubonsie, don't laugh, you're going to make fun of me. We played Chicago State and we won that game. And I don't think they care. You know, no one cared. Like,
yeah,
it's hard to get fired up for those things.
Yeah.
Chicago State might literally.
How many people were at that game?
I was there, so one. Not a lot.
I'm surprised they didn't have a packed house at Waubonsie.
Okay, it was a road game, first of all.
Oh, okay.
We went in. Hey, Waubonsie, dude, we had some supporters. Okay.
Any hostile road environments that you remember?
No, the most hostile road environment I've ever played in was when we played Lafayette. And who's that one guy that you all are buddies with? That
probably Tudor.
No, there was somebody that kept telling me how slow I threw, and I wanted to punch him in the head. I don't remember who it was.
I don't
that
know. If you
got
told me
in my head.
I know who it was.
That got in my head. They got in my head. But yeah,
they were good at that.
They were really good at it. It was like kick rocks, in my opinion. But I mean, so we'll get into player by player, Carson. I wanted to get more big picture, but that was just, to me, all you can do is you get handed the schedule, you play it, and you try and do your best. Kentucky played Wesleyan, and they played this Minnesota State team, a team that won the Division II National Championship. That team beats a lot of Division I teams. That's just the reality here. And Kentucky handled business. They looked great. They looked really, really good. What I loved is we turned the ball over 5 times in the first 5 minutes of the game. We finished the game with 8 turnovers, I believe that was. You take that all day long. I mean, I was really fired up with the way this team responded to that first 5, 8, whatever it was, minutes where it was kind of rough. And then they got dialed and they went. And the defense, kept the game to where, we were tied or up 2, up 4, whatever, kept us there for when the explosion happened. Boom, we're up 20. And you're going to see that be a theme for this team all season long.
Yeah, and that's exactly where you see the in-game changes, right?
Yeah.
Like you're going on that rut and Pope makes a move and you end up getting back in the game and winning, going up by a bunch. So I think it's huge being able to actually see that in the exhibition stage and get to know that Pope is going to make the right decisions when it comes down to it.
Yeah. And, so looking at this game, the other standout, and it's funny, we're going to get to Jaxson Robinson. Obviously, I'm just going to be honest with you, it was a boring performance from Jaxson Robinson. I want me to tell you why.
Well,
because that's going to be every damn game from him.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. That's who he is, I think.
How about that 3 from freaking Narnia, and then he just walks away after shooting it because he knew it was good.
Yeah, he's going to be special. Those of you that have been fans here or listeners here at Wildcats Today for a while, we've said that. We're believers. We know how good he's going to be. He's going to be a special player.
Robinson brings the boom.
Boom! That's 5 big booms. We need to get Clay to record a boom meter and have that on the side.
Yes,
we're going to work on that.
We're going to work on that. New updates.
But, so to me, who what fired me up the most more than Robinson? Because once again, I think it's be normal.
Well, who?
BG. Brandon
BG.
Garrison.
He looked good.
Cameron Coulter's favorite player.
BG.
Give me one. That's a story for another day.
Another time.
Yeah, but Cameron Coulter, he does not know how to leave people alone in public.
His favorite player on the team is definitely Brandon Garrison.
Yes, it is. but I don't think Cameron Coulter is Brandon Garrison's favorite fan. I'll tell you that. But so Brandon Garrison in this game, Carson, he goes 6 to 9 from the field. Really, really nice, from the field in this game. Ends the day with 12 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. I mean, Amari Williams goes down with that injury, which, by the way, sounds like it's day-to-day. He's going to be okay. Yeah. I'll tell you this, Carson, and I'm not saying – I have a feeling that there's going to be no drop-off by the end of the season, maybe even by SEC play. There won't be any drop-off from Williams to Garrison. That's my take. Not to say that Garrison's going to be better. I think they're both going to be great players, and they're going to be pretty interchangeable. And I'm pretty fired up to see how Garrison develops this year, because we know who Amari Williams is.
Yeah.
Garrison's the wild card, and I think he can develop. So what did you think about his performance and his thunder dunk?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Okay, so at the beginning of the game, I had some beef to pick with Brandon Garrison, and it was because I thought what in the world? I thought he wasn't hustling as much on defense. I mean, there was a couple instances where you could see, but when he turned it on, and he looked like the guy that we thought he was going to be. And that dunk, I have no idea why that guy jumped with him. That was not a smart decision. Not sure what he was thinking there. But yeah, wow.
That was no disrespect to that. I mean, they were Division II national champions.
They're a good team.
But come on, man. You are now going to be on the Rupp Arena, pregame highlight all year long.
Oh, probably forever. That was one of the best Kentucky dunks I've seen.
That is your fault. You got to know better than that. And that dude was 5'9".
Yeah, you're 6'6". You wouldn't dare jump with Brandon Garrison.
No, that was I feel bad. Come on, man, make a business decision here and there. I would have respected you getting out of the way. I mean, that was rough. But back to Jaxson Robinson, who, of course, but I have a player we're going to talk about who I think's even, once again, we could sit here and talk about Jaxson Robinson.
I have an X factor that you haven't mentioned.
Well, it's probably who I'm getting ready to talk about in a minute. Yeah. Go ahead, let it fly.
Yeah, Mr. Otegatron.
No debate. That's who I was going to talk about.
I mean, he looks like a stud. He looks like everything you want him to be. He could be the best player on this team, and he might be
the best finisher in college basketball when it comes to finishing around the rim.
Yeah,
I mean, he's 7 of 8 in the field. His only missed shot was a 3-pointer. And I'll tell you this: if it's wide open, shoot it. But I think that we can get a better shot than an Otega 3. If it's open, shoot it. I'm not saying pass open ones, but maybe contested ones. I'd say put it on the floor and see what you can do with it.
But the thing I love about him is he's so efficient too. His passing, and it's hard to take him off the court because he can get you a bucket whenever he wants to get to the rim.
I mean, no question. And then looking at, he goes 7 of 8 from the field, 15 points, 6 assists.
That's what I'm saying.
3 rebounds, 3 steals.
That's crazy.
Is there anything more I can do for you there? What more could you need?
Yeah.
And you want to hear another thing I love? Listen to this. You know how Lamont's stat line against Kentucky Wesleyan was crazy?
Yeah.
This is a boring stat line, but it's an awesome stat line. Let me read this to you. 2 of 4 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. He went 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and he only turned the ball over 1 time as our main ball handler. And more than anything, he was the plus-minus king at 41. That's what stands out to me. The dude scored 4 points. It's not all about scoring. That's not what he's going to be here to bring to the table. You're going to get games where Lamont gives you 14, 15 points. I'd be a little surprised if he ever gave you 20. I don't know why. I
don't know if I'd be surprised necessarily. He's done it in the past, but on a team where he doesn't have to be the guy, it might be a little more surprising. But I would not be shocked.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think that Lamont Butler's role, I love when a player has their role defined, and I've never seen someone understand their role more than Lamont Butler understands his role. He knows what he's supposed to be doing. And I love that. I'm just telling you, I think that he's going to have one of the most underappreciated special seasons in Kentucky basketball history. And I don't think we really know what that means until I think he's going to average 8 points a game, 7 points a game, and 5 assists and 3 rebounds and 2 steals, and it's going to be great. But if Kentucky wins the national championship, you're going to talk about Jaxson Robinson and Andrew Carr and Otega Oweh and Amari Williams. But people are going to forget that the glue behind that.
I'm talking about how Lamont Butler locked up Mark Sears, how he locked
up. Well, I'm
just
telling you, that's the reality. People are going to forget about him because he's not going to be the guy that scores 50 points in a national championship.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But he's going to be a player that is a crucial part of whatever happens with this team when it comes
to Coach Pope has to love him. Like if you're a coach, like he is everything you want.
Mm-hmm. No question. Other stats that stood out, Andrew Carr, just doing Andrew Carr things. He goes 5
I feel like he's going to be the guy that's always just good. Like he just is never going to have a bad game.
I think he could be the Reeves, not in the scoring, but how many times did we do a post-game show, Carson? And we're like, yeah, Rob was great. Reed was great. And then, Antonio had 25.
Yeah.
It's like, well, and I don't think it's going to be quite 25, but it's going to be, yeah, Robinson had a big game. Man, Otega out of nowhere with 23. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Andrew Carr had 17 on 8 of 9 shooting. Like, that's what it's going to be. I think you're going to get so used to him being so good and so consistent that it gets boring. Like, it gets boring how good he is.
It's because he doesn't – it's like he is afraid to make a mistake. He just doesn't make a mistake.
It's not flashy or anything. He just plays the game well. It's 5 of 7 from the field, 0 for 1 from deep, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. The dude loves to make free throws. He is 3 rebounds, 1 offensive, 2 defensive, 3 assists, 2 steals. I don't know what more. He also had credited the worst blocking foul I've ever seen in my entire life.
That was bad.
He's just standing here like this.
Yeah, that was horrible.
And then that was like, I'm not mad about a call in an exhibition game, but I was just like, I was mad because it was so bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't affect anything. I'm just like, that is just bad.
That's just bad.
Yeah, be better.
Hey, it's the refs exhibition too. It's the refs exhibition too.
Yeah, that is true. Okay. So since when are you backing me down off getting on refs?
Oh, trust me. As soon as that ball tips November 4th, I will be a strike hater.
We have one negative to discuss, Carson.
Yes.
And it's a serious one. Kobe Brea, man. He was the blue-white game. It was the blue-white game where he struggled too, right? And then he was okay last week, or pretty good against Wesleyan.
Yeah.
And then this game here, same thing. He had 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 7 points, 1 rebound, turned the ball over, had a steal. He was the only of a player that played relevant minutes. He had a -4. He's the only player that had relevant minutes that had a minus. Like Travis Perry was a -8, but he only played about 6 minutes. Yeah. Walker Horn was a -3. But you get what I'm saying. Brea played about 18 and a half minutes, and he had a -4. I don't know, Carson. I'm
still on the too early to tell.
Oh, I'm not saying the world's going to end. I'm not saying that, but I am saying I right now would rather have Otega Oweh in the basketball game than Kobe Brea by a 100% wide margin.
Well, it's because Otega can. If Otega's not scoring, Otega's going to rebound. He's going to pass, and he's going to play good defense. So Otega just gives you more than what Kobe Brea gives you, but in return, when Kobe is on fire, you got to play him. Like, he's the best shooter in college basketball when he's on. So I don't know. I think he's still going to figure it out. It's early. I just think he had a bad game. I think next game he'll do well.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I am in agreement there. I think it's too early to tell. But if we get 5 games in and he's shooting 29% from 3, a conversation is going to have to be had. It's not a today conversation. To me right now, there's the red button of press it, we're in trouble. And we are not there yet. But I would say a couple more bad games, the case is going to open over the button.
Yeah.
And then a couple more bad games. I'm going to press the we're in trouble with Kobe Brea button. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
But
Well, all
it's
these
something
games
to monitor.
All these games are used to see, because Pope's playing like 10, 11 guys right now. I feel like you're going to have to shorten that rotation a bit the farther along the season goes. So these games are just showing you who needs to be playing more in that rotation. And I mean, it's still early. Kobe is still a good player. Let's not get that twisted. So I'm looking for him to bounce back for sure.
But you just said bench him. He's awful. You just said that. I'm just kidding. No one said that. But
yeah, you're right. Ortega deserves to start right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like I remember when I saw Oweh listed as a starter for the Wesleyan game, I went, "Oh, okay." Like, okay, wasn't expecting it. And now I'm all in. Now I get it. So, any other performances, Carson, that stood out to you in this game? We saw the return of Kirk Kriisa, 3 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 of 4 shooting, 1 of 4 from deep. He just looks so quick.
He does look fast, man. It looks like he's gotten faster. Like, I don't know what it is. Between his other highlights, he looks like he's just in another gear. But that's another example of that's how you earn play time, right?
Yeah.
Kerr, great example. Wasn't shooting the best, right? Still had 6 assists. Know how to make the game better when you're in it without making shots.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, you and I both said on Tuesday, I'm just glad he was able to be out there and play because now against Wright State, he's going to be feeling good.
And then he'll be fine by Duke. Like, as long as he's back in, that's why I'm kind of weary about the Amari situation because we need him back, I think, by Wright State to feel 100% confident for Duke.
Yeah, I'm really not worried. I think Amari's now I don't feel confident about that game. But I feel confident he'll be okay for Duke as long as he's okay.
I would like him to get some limited minutes against Wright State. Not saying he has to go out there and start and play all 40. I'm just saying I would like to see him more in some actions before we do play Duke.
Yeah, I'm with you. On that. So Carson, any other thoughts on the game before do you want to talk about the Tennessee game or do you want to just pretend that's not happening?
Well, we do go into Tennessee. I mean, we should talk about it just a tad because I absolutely still hate them.
I'm going to pretend it wasn't happening. Look at me. Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
It's Tennessee hate week this week for football. I know I got my football jersey on. I'm still going to be rooting for the Cats. It's not going to go well in my opinion. I mean, I could be surprised, but I think the Vols are going to get us. The good news is their basketball team looks terrible. So hopefully we'll be able to run it up in basketball. So Zakai Ziegler, most overrated player in the SEC. But that's all I got for us at the end of this one today. Andrew, let's leave them on. What's your favorite candy bar? What's your favorite candy? Because it's Halloween.
All right, hold on. This is going to turn into a serious conversation that might garner a star for your old buddy here. But listen. So here's the situation. I think you have to categorize candy as 2 different things.
Okay,
let's hear. There's candy and there's chocolate.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Candy is your, sweet tart, any
Patch Kids
kind of sour, any kind of fruity candy.
Yeah.
I think that chocolate is chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had to ask me candy, I have a bold one and you never see them anymore. And actually, now that I say that, I seriously might like Amazon this to my house right now because I'm kind of like craving it. Lemon heads. I think lemon heads are the most underrated candy. I love lemon anything candy. I love lemon stuff. Lemon heads are fire. When it comes to chocolate bar, I would probably have to lean toward you know what I randomly like? I love a Milky Way. And it's very rare for me to have one. But when it comes to like, I was at the grocery buying a little bucket to put candy. Mike and me and Connor and Cameron are, going to give candy to trick-or-treaters a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was getting a bucket and I grabbed some Reese's. I love Reese's. Reese's are my favorite by far. That's my take. What about you?
So for candy, I'm definitely a Sour Patch guy.
Okay.
I love Sour Patch Kids. I don't know. But I'm so bad because like I'll eat a whole box of them and they'll cut the crap out of
Yeah,
my
you're going to be in for pain. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I love them.
But
So
it's
like
worth
you're
it.
eating through the pain.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But yeah, that's probably my number one all-time favorite. But if I was doing just chocolate bar, I like a regular Hershey almond bar. I like a little bit
Those
of
are
nut,
good.
but just some chocolate in there too. It's
Yeah. Again, they're healthy because they have almonds.
Yes, they are healthy.
Yeah.
Our candy bar a day keeps the doctor away. That's
exactly. But yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, that is our thoughts on the game. Hope everyone has a great Halloween.
Caden Lewis commits 2:00 Saturday.
Yes, we will figure something out for that for y'all. But be safe, everybody. It's Halloween. Drive slow. Don't hit any kids. That would not be ideal.
No.
Everybody have candy. No toothbrushes. No bull crap like that. Candy. No apples. None of that. Because
no
you might
healthy
see me
stuff.
trick-or-treating in a banana.
No healthy stuff today.
Yeah, none of that. No. So everyone be safe. Everyone have fun. Have a great Halloween. And hopefully we can be a spooky terror to the Tennessee Volunteers and win on Saturday. Don't see that happening, but you never know. Everyone have a great Halloween, and we will see y'all next time right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.